We are the dollars and cents.
Welcome back to the channel, guys. Excuse my voice. I did just get over a head cold. Nothing serious. Just lost a little bit of my voice. And luckily, my nose cleared up enough today for me to actually want to do a video, because I haven't been able to do one in the last couple of days because I wasn't really smelling too well. But right now, both nostrils are completely clear. We're good to go. So I want to talk about a fragrance that actually just acquired the original Homme, and I have the Parfum version that came out like 100 years later, and this one apparently was the darling for a long time. I think it was called Wild, which was another flanker from this line, but it is Joop Homme Absolute, and I did hear a lot about this fragrance. I'm not sure if this one's going to be considered a cheap but good fragrance, as this is the 2.8 ounce bottle, and I think I got it for a decent price. I think it was like $35, but the 100 ml still goes for around $65. So that's on the higher end when it comes to designer fragrances. But let's check out this this fragrance here. Let me get it out of the plastic right quick for you guys. All right, so here is the box for Joop Homme Absolute. Joop, or Joop, however you guys want to pronounce it. I'm just going to say Joop because that's what I've always really called it. I mean, if I'm wrong, that's fine. You guys can sue me in the comments. Here's the box, though. It does look kind of like the other ones. This one does have more of a black and yellow. The other ones I think are purple and pink. And I did go get my bottles real quick so you guys can see. Here's the original Joop, which I smelled someone wearing this at a tailgate party. Smelled really, really good. I had to re-get this one. You guys can get this for like 30 bucks, if not less. And the Joop Homme Eau de Parfum, which is a really, really great scent as well. Modern take on the original DNA. I don't know if you can find it in the States very easily. I got lucky on this one and found this one on Groupon of all places. Someone gave me that tip, so I can't remember who gave me that tip, but thank you so much for that. But here is the bottle for Joop Homme Absolute. It is the exact same bottle. We just have a smaller size here. It looks, I think it's like the exact same size. It's just a little, this one, the Absolute's a little bit shorter. We do have a black cap here, black atomizer. I do love the black look on this. I think it's yellow. Yeah, it's yellow right there. Do like the color scheme on this one a lot, actually. Can't see the juice. I'm trying to hold it up to the light here. It looks like you can't see the juice through the glass, so if you're, for any reason, if you guys are doing any decanting, I will suggest putting a sticker on the back and keep track of how much juice you've decanted. Not that you're going to be decanting anything from this fragrance, just because it's a little bit cheaper. And yeah, so here's a little bit of information about Joop Homme Absolute. It is a amber fougere fragrance released in 2019. The nose behind this fragrance is Antoine Maison Doux, and it is an Eau de Parfum concentration, which is nice. I want to say that the Joop Homme, the new one, is Eau de Parfum. I believe that's what it's called. Anyway, the original was, as we all know, I think it was Eau de Toilette, but it projects and performs like an EDP. So that's kind of the the stigma that Joop has around it, is that it's super duper strong. Yeah, so don't really know too much about this fragrance. Here are the notes for this fragrance. In the top, we have black pepper. In the middle, we have ylang ylang, and the base, we round things off with incense, tonka bean, and vetiver. When it comes to this one, I think I just saw someone post something on Facebook, and they said it's underrated gem. I was like, okay, that's enough for me. If someone says it's underrated gem, and they're willing to put it out there publicly, I'm willing to try it, especially for the price. I think I paid, it was like 35 bucks on eBay. No one's faking this fragrance, guys, so you guys can trust eBay sometimes. But yeah, some of these notes I was a little on the fence with. It was mainly the top note there. The black pepper. Not a big fan of black pepper. Honestly, black pepper, to my nose anyway, reminds me of like an old man fragrance. Some black pepper, like in Bang by Marc Jacobs, that actually made me sneeze. That was like really hardcore black pepper. It is in the top, so I'm hoping it's going to be short-lived and not going to be the main player. But this is a black bottle. As you can see, black cap, black everything. So we'll see where it goes. But looking forward to trying this fragrance. So let's give this fragrance a first impression, guys. Clean hand. Couple sprays. Here we go. I think these bottles tend to have really, really good sprayers, so we'll see. Oh yeah, really good sprayer. A lot of juice. Okay. Immediately reminds me of a little bit of like Royal Oud. A little bit of that type of, this is black pepper, but to my nose, this smells like pink pepper. This has like a Not saying it smells like it, but it has like a spice bomb type of feel to it. It's very spicy. It's a little sweet. It's a little smoky. It's a little creamy somehow. I'm getting the vetiver. The vetiver is giving it a little bit of that rootiness, but I think it's giving it a little bit of that creaminess somehow. Getting the tonka bean as well. Okay. I will say it starts off very, very spicy. It smells more like pink pepper to my nose than black pepper, so that's good. Because black pepper, again, smells like old man sometimes. And maybe in the air this does after a while. But yeah, this really does give me... Again, there's no cedar in this. There's not a lot of notes in this that come in Royal Oud, but I'm getting those vibes. I'm getting that sort of vibe. Again, doesn't smell exactly like it by any means. I'm just saying it reminds me of that. It reminds me a little bit of even, what was the teddy bear fragrance? That one has rose in it, but that teddy bear fragrance from, again, I can't remember the name, but you guys know which one I'm talking about. That one had the same vibe as well with the same, I think that one had pink pepper as well. But that one has rose in it. That one reminded me of Le Labo's Rose 31. This one just has a little bit of that opening. But I can see how it matches the bottle. The vetiver in this is nice, actually. I don't say that a lot about vetiver. I think my favorite vetiver fragrance that I can think of off the top of my head is probably Dignified from House of Sillage. And that fragrance, you get vetiver, but it's a really nice smelling vetiver. Not rooty, not too earthy. This one's kind of the same way. Doesn't remind me of that. I'm saying it's a nice take with a vetiver, I guess. It's a wearable vetiver. Yeah. Pleasantly surprised with this fragrance. I actually wasn't expecting to get this, but it's nice. The tonka bean's obviously giving it a little bit of that sweetness as well. Actually, probably all the sweetness, because there's nothing else in this, at least to my knowledge. I really don't know what Ylang Ylang brings to the table. I think it's floral, but I don't think it brings any type of like gourmand sweetness. The tonka bean for sure I think it's taking care of that. But yeah, nice smelling fragrance. Not getting the Joop DNA, not right now anyway. I wouldn't, if I were to smell this separately, I wouldn't think that this was this by any means. I would never think this is a Joop flanker. I would think this is just a whole new different fragrance, just in a similar bottle. You could put this in a different bottle and I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't think Joop at all, if that says anything. But again, very dry. The black pepper starting to get a little bit more dry and lean more towards black pepper now. So before this video gets too much longer, I got to go ahead and cut it now. And wear this fragrance tonight over the next couple of days. Give you guys an update shortly. Talk to you then. All right, guys, I'm back with my update for Joop Homme Absolu. Spent a few days with this fragrance. Gotta say, guys, kind of like this one, and I actually got some real positive feedback when I wore this fragrance yesterday or the day before. I will start by saying this fragrance does remind me of a couple of other popular fragrances that are already on the market, but I like both of them. And this is, I'm not going to say a perfect, but it's a pretty good combination of both of those fragrances. So if you're a fan of those or you've liked them in the past and tried them, maybe you want to get your hands on this one. This one reminded me of a nice combination of Eau de Beau from L'Occitane and Prada's Luna Rossa Black. Now, this one starts off with a black pepper that I mentioned, remind me of pink pepper. So it kind of has like a spice bomb kind of opening, almost like a Royal Oud kind of opening, because that one has like, this doesn't have cedar in it, but that one had, those two fragrances have pink pepper. So it kind of starts off like that, just quickly to the nose. That's why it's familiar. And there's a bunch of other fragrances that have the same little opening. But this fragrance with the, I believe it maybe the incense and the tonka bean that really make this one smell after, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes, really smells a lot like Prada Luna Rossa Black, which to my nose, I liked it because it had a lot of tonka bean or coumarin. I believe that's on Fragrantica, it says coumarin, which I think is the same thing. I don't know why they call them two different notes for two different fragrances. But that fragrance was very, very heavy in the tonka bean, and it was smoky. Kind of gave off like a burnt plastic kind of smell, which sounds really bad, but the fragrance wasn't bad. It just, my brain just goes to like kind of weird places. Kind of ruins it for me sometimes. But honestly, this fragrance smells like I said, the Eau de Beau, kind of sweet, kind of spicy. and peppery, but also kind of with that sort of powdery, sweet, sort of smoky smell that you get from Prada Luna Rossa Black. So this is not a bad fragrance. I'll say again, this fragrance does not smell like the original. This is the Eau de Parfum, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like the originals, the original Joop from back in the, I guess, 80s, and or the new one. This one sort of does its own thing. I think I mentioned this in the first half. This could be in its own bottle as well. But I do like this bottle. So the longevity for this fragrance was a little bit to be desired. This is an Eau de Parfum, so I will say it's below average because it only lasted 6 hours on my skin. Now, I say that, knowing today I wore it, got 6 hours. Then I went for a run, and it's cold outside. But when I got back, I was hot, and I got wafts of it. So you guys can do with that what you will. I mean, part of me wants to give this one 8 hours because I do think it gets lighter as the day goes by. But I still smelled it right before I jumped in the shower. And it's way later in the day. So we'll say 6 to 8 hours just to be safe. But for an Eau de Parfum, we'll say it's slightly below average to average. Wish it lasted, it was more prominent longer. The projection of this fragrance was pretty good. And the only reason why I say that is because when I'm filling in for a driver at work, and I went by a property to make a delivery, and I walked in the room, and she immediately said, "Man, what are you wearing? It smells really good. I can smell you from here." And I was like, wow. She's like, yeah. And I gave her the name. I told her the black bottle with the yellow writing. And she said it's filling up the entire room, which I didn't get that. I got wafts of it, but I didn't know it was that strong. This was 4 hours after wearing it. So I put it on at 7:30, and it was like noonish, a little bit afternoon. So the projection was pretty good. I'm going to say it was, for an Eau de Parfum, I'm going to say it's average. I'm not going to say it's beast, but it got her from a few feet away. So that was pretty good. She said she wanted to buy it for her boyfriend. That's really good feedback when it comes to projection, in my opinion. Seasons for this fragrance, man, I think honestly, it smells like it'll be a fall fragrance, but I think it's safe enough to wear year round because it's not going to, maybe fall and a cool spring. It's not hot right now, so I can't really say. I do think the heat will help with this, with the performance on this one. And honestly, I guess if you look at the L'Occitane, the Eau de Beau, and the Prada Luna Rossa Black, those are probably more cooler weather fragrances. So we'll just go ahead and say this is going to be fall, spring, cooler weather. I think you can pull it off in the heat though, because I don't think it's gonna really choke anybody out. So maybe year round. We'll see. We'll see what I put down here, what I decide on to put. Occasions for this fragrance. It's going to resemble the black bottle. I think this is a sexy fragrance. Now, you can probably wear this one casual because it is very powdery and light, and it's kind of has a little cloud. It's a nice little soft, buttery little cloud around you of this fragrance. It's really nice. And that freshness from the pepper, it is a fresh pepper. It does resemble pink pepper to my nose. Makes me feel like it's going to be casual, but man, I just think it just might slightly give the edge to evening wear out. I think with that compliment, if you wear enough sprays of this one early in the evening, you might be able to pull it off in the club. Again, it's not like sickly sweet, but you get some good sweetness out of this one. Nice, fresh, spicy, warm, spicy sweetness with this one. Again, not a beast by any means, but it's nice. Ages for this fragrance, probably gonna say 25 and up. I think you can easily afford this one if you're younger, but 25 and up will really appreciate that black pepper note because I think that might turn some noses off. Also, the fact that I said it sort of smells a little bit like burnt plastic, like the Prada Luna Rossa Black. Again, that's just the incense and tonka bean doing its work. Maybe the vetiver has something to do with that too, but it's not exclusively like that. I'm saying, so younger noses might get that hint and go, ooh, I don't like this. So I'm going to say 25 and up can afford it and pull this one off, guys. Overall, I do actually like this fragrance. A few superficial things, if you want to call it that. I love the hand feel of these bottles. It just feels great, okay? Secondly, I love the atomizers. There is just a ton of juice that comes out with this fragrance. I mean, you put a couple sprays on, it's nearly dripping down your neck. But I love the atomizer and the bottle shape of this fragrance. I love the experience of this fragrance. It does actually smell really good. It reminded me of two of my, not top favorites, but I did like Eau de Beau. I recently sold my bottle because I was trying to move new stuff in. But I did like that fragrance. It's very inoffensive. It's nice and sweet and fresh, spicy. And Prada Luna Rossa Black. So if you like those two fragrances and maybe you don't have them anymore, but you'd like to experience them both together, I think you're going to like Joop Homme Absolute. I think this is a nice, safe buy, honestly. If you're 25 and up, I think I paid, what did I say, $35 for this 2.5 ounce bottle, 2.6 ounce bottle. That's a decent price for the amount of juice you get. That's just under 100 mil. The 100 mil was almost double, I think, if not like 25, 30 bucks more. I think you'll be safe getting this bottle here, and who knows, maybe you won't like it, so you can get rid of it. But I don't know. It's up to you guys to pay what you want. Not gonna say it's a cheap but good fragrance at this size. I think it could be, I guess. But honestly, the way I do that kind of measuring is gonna be 100 mil for that price. If you can get 100 mil for the price that I mentioned, 35 bucks, this will be a cheap but good fragrance. I do actually like this fragrance, even though it does remind me of a couple of others. I think this is a solid fragrance. I think it's good. It doesn't remind me of the other Joops. So this is doing its own thing, in my opinion, anyway. So I think, and again, Antoine Maison-Dieu, who is a rock star perfumer, made this fragrance. I can see, good work with this one. And it's always nice to get good positive feedback from this one. And when she immediately pulled her phone out and said, tell me what it is, I want to get it for my boyfriend for Christmas, was asking if she had enough time to get it shipped in before Christmas. I was like, whoa, okay, so she's really into it. That was a very positive feedback. That really helped push this fragrance because I could smell it on myself, but I didn't think it was gonna be that strong. And she said, whoa, like it's really strong, which is a really, really, really good and a good sign for this fragrance, guys. So have you tried Joop Homme Absolute from the house of Joop? If you haven't, let me know your thoughts on this fragrance down in the comments below, because I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking about this one. But yes, check this one out, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching the video on my channel. If you like this video, please click that like button, subscribe to my channel, and turn on notifications for future first impressions videos and Fragrance Related content just like this, guys. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Dollars and Cents. There, you'll find Fragrance Related photos and future contest winners. And as always, till next video, you guys, take care. Thanks.